Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany and I want to welcome you to my garden, Tika's Gardens. Today I am going to take on part 2 of this long border right here along the garage. So let me kind of walk you through what we're going to be doing today. Okay guys, so as you recall from the last video, I discussed what my plans were for this, to kind of use it as a combination of a flower bed and walkway so that we don't have to do what I'm doing now, which is walk on the grass. And so I redirected the edging in the last video, if you recall, making an opening here to enter into the walkway. I'm gonna come around here so you can look from the long distance. And I have some brick here that I'm going to dig into the ground to mark the entrance to this area. And it will mimic what I have done with these brick. And also, let me swing around and we'll head to the bedroom garden. As we come around and we start to enter the bedroom garden from the walkway, I also have brick separating the mulch here from the start of the gravel. So this kind of mimics what I did for the courtyard garden, where the gravel stops at the brick before you get to this walkway. And we're just walking this path as we talk, because why not? Everything is so pretty. Look at the coreopsis. I think gardeners have short attention spans because things just stop us in our tracks, like your cat eating your grass. But look at the yarrow. So pretty. All right, let's get back to the subject at hand. So I transplanted the purple fountain grass here. I transplanted the plumbago here. And that takes us, like I said, to the entrance or exit, depending on the direction you're going in and how you want to view it, for this, which will be a walk and flower bed, to help us to not wear down the grass. And as I approach the patio here, you will see that I have some stone. These are called moss rock, just like the rock that I put in the back bedroom garden in a couple of videos ago, except it's a different color. Unless once it's wet, the dust comes off and it shows the same coloring, I don't know, but for some reason this is called moss rock as well. So I have 13 of these, and I got thick ones so they can withstand the weight of being walked on. I also have started collecting flowers. What gardener doesn't? But we'll talk about the flowers a little later. Right now the focus is on getting all the hardware down. So we're going to get the brick, these pavers laid along here, and then we're going to get that brick that is down there right here at the end. We're going to get that set into the ground, and we're going to remove these onions. We are going to reuse them because I've mentioned before in a few different videos that I really like the white flowers that come out of them, so they will get reused. But that is my plan for today. I also think this area could be a little bit more leveled out, but we're going to work on all of that. So let me set the camera down, get my tools and gear, and let's kind of get started with this, leveling it out, laying these lovely pavers, and then if there's time, maybe we'll get to some of the flowers and we'll get planting. All right, guys, let's transform this long border along the garage into something beautiful. Alright guys, well, I have them spaced out, so I'm just going to kind of dig the hole a little bit and set them in place so that they're a little bit more deeper in the ground, like you saw me do with the first one. So second step, let's get them set in the ground, and then we'll get the brick trim for that area in the ground as well. All right, guys. Well, I'm over here in the part of the garden that has shade, so I can try to cool off a little bit. I had to stop and take a little bit of a break to go get some water, but I got it finished. You can see. Let me step forward a little bit so I can get the whole thing in view behind me. So you can see there is now a walkway there connecting the patio. There you can see, connecting the patio to this walkway, and I use these brick right here to mimic the rest of the yard. Since it was already done in other places and I have the brick, I decided to just use it and mimic it, the rest of the entry and exit points of the other parts of the garden. So let's take a closer look at the walkway so you can see what it looks like, and we'll get a little bit of the planting done today just so it can start to look like something, because I'm excited. All right, let's take a look. All right, so I am all of the way in at the back of this back border bed here near my fencing, just so I can start here and give you a good look. I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna give you a perspective from the walkway. So we're facing the courtyard. You can kind of see the brick entrance to the courtyard there. We have this brick entrance to, I think, what should we call this? The garage bed or something like that. I have to think of a name for it. But you come along here, and the distance of the stepping stones is pretty good for my little legs, and the stones are not too big. So I'm gonna take another walk through, but slow down. I was just trying to test it out, and I took you along for the ride. So I feel like there's one that I need to reset, but overall they look good. Swing back around. Let's come out to the grass and let's take a look from the front here. From one end to the other. So connecting one pathway to the other so we don't have to walk on the grass and wear it down. So I like the way it's coming along so far. Isn't it just so gorgeous, guys? Can you imagine? And anything can be done with the outer planting edges. Long term, I would like to make it a little more formal. I'm going to try to find a picture and stick it in here somewhere so you can see what I want to do long term. But for right now, I just want to plant it up so that there are some things there so it's not empty for the season. I know I said I was going to leave it until the fall, but I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get some of these plants over here planted. So let me show you what I have. I have some Mexican heather in pink. I have salvia. Let me sit this one here because these are kind of tall. And then I have, everything has just fallen over, my goodness. And then I have rudbeckia. So here's a rudbeckia right here. So we've got this salvia, which is called Blue Betty. Let me clean off this little tag here a little bit better. Blue Better. It's not coming out clear. Let me try it one more time. Blue Better. There we go. And then we have pink, Mexican heather, and then we have the yellow Rudbeckia. And the Rudbeckia, let's see if we can find a tag for it. It is called Denver Daisy. So I have 3 salvia, 3 Rudbeckia, and 3 Mexican heather. And then of course I also already have that onion over there, which has a gorgeous lacy white kind of flowers. So we're going to divide that onion up and stick it in various parts along the walkway, along with the flowers that we've purchased. And if we have time, we'll lay a little mulch. If not, we'll get to that another day. But let's go ahead and get these gorgeous flowers planted. Okay guys, so I've got 2 groups of plantings for right now, and we'll just fill in this walkway more as time goes. But right now I've got groupings of 3. I've got 3 onions. I divided the onions that I have, and I've got 3 Mexican heather. The Mexican heather is supposed to be able to get up to 24 inches tall, 2 feet tall in other words. And the onion get about, I'd say, 12 to 18 feet tall, but the flowers that stick up from it are definitely about 2 feet. Yeah, about 2 feet tall for sure. So anyway, we have the grouping of 3s here at this part of the walkway. And then everything has fallen over here, but we've got groups of 3 here. We've got 3 salvia and 3 Rudbeckia. So we've got 2 salvia in the back with the Rudbeckia in the middle. And then we have 2 Rudbeckia in the front with 1 salvia in the middle. So I've done groupings of 3 here and there. And like I said, we still have areas to cover, to fill in. So we'll get it done slowly, but this at least will start to bring some life to this area. And keep in mind, remember my plans for the wall. I mentioned in the last video, these are going to stay here for now, these trellises, because I have other things I need to do for the garden. So I'm going to leave those for now before they're replaced. And I'm either going to replace them with trellises where I will be growing roses up them, or I will do another more faux trellis. But in between each space is going to be a pot with flowers. or something like that. There will be arrangements in pots. I don't know if it will be evergreens. I'm leaning towards some type of evergreen that I can put flowers around by the season. But the wall itself will have the trellises and pots. And then we have the walkway. And we will have it lined with, for right now, flowers. Long term, it would be nice to have a boxwood hedge along there, as you saw from the picture that I stuck in earlier. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's get these things in the ground, get them watered, and get out of this Texas heat and humidity so I can go grab some lunch. All right, let's get planting. This is really, really root bound. Look at that. This one is Indian Summer. This is the Rebecca. So the Rebeckias I have are different. Like I said, this one's Indian Summer, as I mentioned earlier. This one is Denver Daisy. I didn't realize I grabbed different ones. I thought they were all the same. So let's see what this third one is. The third one is Indian Summer as well. So that's okay. It's still going to be pretty, and having different kinds, that's even better. I have grown Rebeckia here in the yard before, and it has done phenomenal. And as a matter of fact, I believe the one that I grew before was Indian Summer. All right, guys, it is the next morning, and I just wanted to show you where things are on this project. I laid mulch, and I had enough to go up to here, and then I ran out. But I had to kind of take a break because I was pretty tired. It tired me out. So, and it was so hot and so humid. You know, it was the middle of the day, not the best time to be out trying to work in this kind of weather. So I'm back out this morning just to kind of give you an update on where it left off so you can see. Let me step all of the way back. So this is what I have to finish up with mulch. Well, of course, the whole backyard and the main part along the front, foundation in the front also need mulch, but this is where we are. I'm gonna walk the path. And that brings us to the patio. I think this was really a good idea to connect the patio to the walkway using this bed and doing it in this fashion, because it still leaves the ability to plant. You know, if you want to have a food forest, this still would leave the ability to plant vegetables. You could do anything from greens to herbs. Whatever your heart desires, you can make it formal with boxwood hedge, whatever the case may be. So I really think making that connection to the walkway and the patio was a necessity, and it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. I'm so excited about how this yard is coming along. Oh my gosh, isn't that so pretty, guys? All right, well, I just wanted to come out this morning, as I always do, to get some fresh air, enjoy the morning while it's quiet, and show you what I've gotten done so far with this project. So that's where I'm going to stop for now. Thank you for gardening with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.